All right. So last few a couple weeks, not really, even a whole one, a whole 2 weeks for the new year. So we're closing out this 2022 with Goddess guidance to help us through this transitional period. It's a lot of energy because we do have Mercury going retrograde, and also we have the winter solstice, which is tomorrow. It's also my mom's birthday. But the winter solstice is where pretty much the amount of darkness outweighs or overrides the amount of sunlight that we have. So if you've been feeling kind of, more introspective, heavier, kind of tapping into some shadow self or whatever, this is the season and the time to do that. But also it gives way after the winter solstice tomorrow. That is when daylight starts to increase. Which is great because this whole dark at 5:12 p.m. is depressing for someone who enjoys the sunlight. So aside from that, we also have the new moon in Capricorn, and that is Friday. And I think it's Friday. Actually, no. Are we doing it Friday? Okay, well, that's typically around the same time as the winter solstice. So the so a new moon in Capricorn can also feel kind of heavy because the new moon is a period where you don't really see the moon in the sky, so she's not illuminated like the full moon, and that can also be kind of a retrospective, introspective, going deeper within period in our lives and as a collective and as well as individually. But then also we have Capricorn, which is a cardinal sign, so it has some potency to it. And it's a leadership sign, but it's a leadership of earth element. And so earth, we know, moves, but it moves slowly. And so if you've been feeling like things are kind of, slowing down, especially with retrograde and Chiron and all that stuff doing its thing. It's with all the astrological aspects of, if you feel like things are kind of slowing down or getting quieter, things are maybe getting even heavier, manifestations, things like that are moving slower. It's just really a good time to check in and to go with the flow. And if the flow slows down, be in that space because that is what's going to help you, especially here as women, as the embodiment of goddess energy, to really take advantage of that time and this space for us to rest, for us to chill out, for us to prioritize ourselves and take stock of the stuff that we need for ourselves to nurture ourselves when the spring comes so that we can be seen in our fullest essence. And so, with that being said, while I was shuffling, tonight's goddess message is on time and on point, or on brand with goddess energy. And so tonight's message is one of compassion. So as we move through this season where things are going to get pretty frigid this weekend, apparently here in Atlanta, it's a good time to just kind of take rest, be gentle with yourself. So if you need to, take care of yourself in whatever way that looks like, that is fine. If you need to assert certain boundaries, if you need to say no, if you need to just, discern your family dynamics and how you're planning on interacting with that if you celebrate the holidays. This is definitely a wonderful card, one of compassion, so that we can release judgments about ourselves and others, and then also focus on the love and light that is within everyone. And I think that's pretty timely, considering this is a time of year, especially going into a new year, where we tend to reflect on what we have or have not done this year, but being compassionate with ourselves as we reflect and contemplate from that place of non-judgment. It's as if we are our own best friends or our own mother, that type of thing. And then focusing on the love and light that is within everyone. Depending on your family setup, I know that might be a little difficult, but with that being said, this is a season where there's a lot of love that is shared. And there's definitely a lot of lights, as we talked about with the winter solstice, returning to the light, but also it's festive, so we have Christmas lights or holiday lights and all that kind of stuff to brighten up the cheer of this season. I don't know if that makes sense, brighten up the cheer. Sometimes I think my broken English kicks in. The Korean side kicks in. There are certain words that I was not able to properly pronounce till I was like a young adult, because I did not know that they were wrong. That's growing up with a foreign mother. So with that being said, we will openly and gracefully receive tonight's message of compassion. Okay. So wherever you are in time and space, go ahead and just take a moment to acclimate yourself to your physical surroundings, whether that is physically looking at them, what's in your environment, the left, right, above, below, in front of you, behind you. Taking some nice stretches, just allowing yourself to settle into this moment. However you have arrived, with whatever thoughts, whatever feelings, sensations that you may have, just allow them to be here with you. And you don't necessarily have to entertain them. You don't have to analyze your thoughts at this moment. Just let them be. No need to evaluate your emotions. Just allow them to flow. Give yourself permission to just land where you may in this moment, in this time. So that you can truly be present with all aspects of yourself. Physical, the emotional, the mental, spiritual, and the energetic. Allowing yourself a few deep breaths. Expanding the belly, the chest, the mind. As you inhale and as you exhale, just reversing that flow. Riding the breath fully as you expand the belly, the heart space, and the mind on the inhale, exhaling. Fully releasing, squeezing all of that old air, all of that old energy out of your body. And whenever you feel that you are complete with that breathing exercise, you can just allow the breath to return to its normal flow and cadence. Noticing the breath flowing through the nostrils and into the body, allowing yourself to just relax. And maybe your thoughts begin to settle as you focus on the present moment and your breath. Maybe your emotional waters become more smooth and calm as you just allow them to be, acknowledging them, having compassion for yourself. However you've shown up this evening, know that it is all okay on every level. And then just taking a moment as you breathe You scan your body from head to toe, just inviting any areas of tension or areas calling for your attention. Just be at ease and relax. Just noticing what it feels like to bring your awareness to the crown of your head and allowing that to just soften. Feeling that sense of ease, moving into the space of the mind, relaxing the space between the brows, allowing the mind to just step back, maybe have a seat centered within the mind so that you can observe, feel, sense, know the guidance that is here for you this evening. As you continue to just slowly move through your body, scanning it from head to toe, eventually you'll allow the tip of your nose to relax, the back of your head, the base of your occiput to relax, allowing your jaw to soften and relaxing the tongue, allowing it to drop away from the roof of your mouth if it was there, softening the throat, collarbone, shoulders, relaxing the left arm, hands, fingertips, relaxing the right arm, hand, and fingertips. And just feeling this wave, divine feminine essence flowing over you and through you, allowing yourself to receive this essence as you soften in the heart space, front and back. Be feeling yourself leaning back into the arms of the divine feminine and her comfort, safety, her support. And then as you take another deep breath, just bringing that sense of ease into the space just below the ribs, softening the belly, allowing this energy to move down past the belly button, into the low belly, breathing deeply into this space as you inhale, exhaling, squeezing it all out. And just allowing this gentle, loving, supportive, nurturing energy to move down into the hips. And just filling your entire magical womb space, one pelvis to the next, and anchoring down into the pelvic floor, feeling this energy begin to expand to the width of your hips and eventually flowing down to the legs, your knees, your ankles, your feet, and your toes. And just taking a pause for a moment, inviting every aspect of your being, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, physically, to just relax. And being easy on yourself, no pressure at all. When you are ready, when you feel ready, you'll allow yourself to root down into Mother Earth, growing roots either through the base of your spine and down into the earth, or through the soles of your feet, rooting down into the earth, creating a tether, a line of energy that allows you to feel safe and supported, anchored into this moment, to this earthly realm, so that you can be in alignment and in the flow that not only below, but above as well. As you begin to release any judgments of yourself, do so from a space of compassion. Simply allowing yourself to observe the areas and opportunities for improvement, refinement, growth, evolution, healing, manifesting, whatever it is that you desire in this moment. Allow yourself to just release any judgments, any doubts associated with that you wish to receive. Knowing that all has served its purpose in some way, shape, or form. And in those moments, love has not been lost. Lessons have been learned that allow you to elevate yourself beyond what was, open and receptive of what is to come. Because to release judgments of yourself with compassion gives your body the acknowledgement, the permission it needs to feel peace. You allow yourself to reclaim your power because you've chosen to take accountability, responsibility for yourself. And as you release those judgments, you also begin to understand the actions, motives, intentions of others. begin to create greater understanding, which eventually allows you to be more compassionate, not only towards others, but to yourself. Begin to see more of the love and the light that is not only within yourself, but in your interactions, in your relationships with others. You see, to be compassionate with yourself or others does not mean to be a doormat or to just accept what is without any notion of how it may serve you, benefit your highest good. It does not mean we simply turn the other cheek and that we are weak. To be compassionate takes great strength and power because it is so easy to react. And to master oneself is to learn how to not only acknowledge, but to respond appropriately and respond from a place of truth, a resonance that is undeniable. But when the truth is spoken, has a resonance. Your voice has a tone. That tone is interpreted as sound, and sound has vibrational resonance. That is the frequency measured in what we call hertz, that others are able to perceive, to understand, to feel, to know. And so to be compassionate and gentle is the strength behind true power. You have chosen not only to take the higher road, but to also stay true to yourself in the process. Gentleness, self-love, self-acceptance comes from feeding yourself not only with nourishing words, but positive thoughts about yourself, good deeds, intentions set with integrity, and all forms of nourishment, physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, financially, and sexually, allowing ourselves to be nourished in all ways. Tonight's message asks or guides you to shield yourself from any and all harshness simply by placing your intention to attract only kind and gentle life lessons and relationships. Take a breath and take a moment to just set that intention in motion, putting it out there that from this moment forward, all of your life lessons are met with loving kindness, gentleness, amusement, awareness, and that all negative karmic debts have been paid in full, so that you may move forward into this season, into this new year with grace. It's time for you to transform any and all harshness into gentleness. And it's simple. Refuse to see anything but the shining light that's within each person and each situation. And sometimes you might have to look just a little harder. Not necessarily with the physical eye, but your intuitive eye and the way that you perceive things. But in order to see that love and light that is within everyone and everything, it has to begin with yourself. How can you choose to see yourself in the most favorable light? When you look in the mirror, what are the thoughts, feelings, the words that come to mind? Are they ones that nurture your being? Could they use some improvement? Now's the time to practice being gentle with yourself. Spirit's guidance is for you. Its intention for you is to be happy, be loved, kind, and sweet and appreciated, but most of all, always be true to yourself. Doing so is to be compassionate with yourself. Honor your thoughts and your feelings, using them simply as feedback, finding those opportunities for advancement or refinement, enlightenment, healing, transformation, stepping into the power of who you truly are, an alchemist, the embodiment of the divine feminine. In every way, shape, or form, you have arrived here, Earthside. During these next few days, when we have cosmic support and opportunity to release and to let go, you're being guided to just check in with yourself. As you reflect on the year that has transpired, is there any guilt, shame that you are ready to release to heaven above for the earth below for healing If any thoughts, feelings, memories, actions come to mind, just be sure to keep your thoughts, not only of yourself, but others, as positive as possible. This is not something that always comes easy. It takes practice. And practice is not about reaching a state of perfection. To practice mindfulness is to simply become more masterful of yourself, more persistent in the things that uplift you, that nurture you, that give you the space to grow and to evolve, and be better. And regardless of how you may feel, do not succumb to gossip and bad mouthing others. Attach, disconnect, refrain from any gossip and bad mouthing others. Most importantly, this is a time to forgive yourself for that which you have done and that which you have not. What are some things you are ready to forgive yourself for this moment? As you look at the year that has passed, where or what are you willing to forgive so that you can be free? So that you can grow, become wiser, more master, more compassionate with yourself. There is no need to be hard on yourself any longer. Give yourself some grace. You're here to learn. As the embodiment of the divine feminine expressed in millions of unique ways, we're all here to simply learn the truth of the divine feminine through our experiences, compassion, our forgiveness, dreams and desires. At least the need to be perfect. For right now, just let go of any standards that you may have, any expectations of yourself. Give yourself permission to just let go of any roles, obligations, hats you may be wearing. And just breathe. Allow the energy of compassion and grace to fill those spaces or places that are hurting, that don't feel good, that are heavy. Sending that love out into the world. Including yourself. This space, this container, all filled with love, compassion, gentleness, kindness, light, and truth. Taking some nice, deep, slow, steady breaths. Giving yourself just a moment to be. Allow the mind to soften, heart space to soften, your body to soften and relax a little deeper. To surrender a little more. To breathe deep. And then whenever you're ready, being gentle, kind, respectful to yourself, where you are in this moment. And begin to bring some gentle movements to your extremities, toes, fingers, hands, wrists, ankles, and just allowing that movement to grow, expanding it through your body, maybe taking some hip circles or some nice stretches, some shoulder rolls back and maybe forward. Maybe just stretching through the neck, allowing yourself to release any tension you might have held there during our time together this evening. And then one more deep breath, slowly, gently, gracefully, come out of meditation. All right. I love, it's interesting because this compassion message, not gonna lie, sometimes I have an aversion to it. Because it's not always easy to release judgments of ourselves. Especially in this day and age, in this time where we have so much visual representation and simulation and also stimulation of what things should be like or could be like and so forth. And in those moments, we may not always be using our rational mind to acknowledge that some of that stuff is staged, it's on purpose, it's intentional to, look this way or that way, or to give off this type of energy or persona, whatever it is. And so sometimes it can be a little difficult, especially with this particular season, the holiday season. I don't know if y'all's family is like mine, but my mother has very high expectations of certain things, those things being me. And so, it can be challenging when you feel like this is what I have to give. And to certain people that you do love and care about, it's not enough. It may never be enough, and that is something that we have to come to terms with, mostly because trying to live up to those expectations is just going to drive you fucking nuts. Okay. And it may never happen. So it's like a hamster in a wheel. You're just going, 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 and you spend so much time and energy trying to appease or trying to fulfill, trying to live up to the expectations of others, including yourself. And so sometimes it's really hard to release those judgments, especially when our external environment may be showing you what should be, and you realize, like, okay, well, I'm not there, or maybe I am there, but I'm still not feeling like I'm living my best life. So this is a time of year where we tend to look back um, at what has happened throughout the year. And sometimes we may not feel like we've accomplished all that we set our minds to do this year. But I think a message of compassion is one that kind of soothes that, right? It just brings a sense of like, it offers you peace, right? When you can tell yourself, that is what my goal was for this year. Here is where I am in that. And you know what? Things change. Life evolves, seasons change. Mother Nature's always evolving and changing. And so when we learn to live in that rhythm, that flow, that cycle, and honor that only, well, not only within our environment, but within ourselves, then we give ourselves a little space to just be human, and to embrace what we see or have been told are shortcomings or weaknesses, or just not right, not good enough, all those things. And so in those moments we can become burdened with the heaviness of those things. But when you are magical, okay, and you are in alignment and in tune with the divine feminine, then you can say, instead of holding on to this grudge, instead of holding on to this hurt, instead of holding on to this pain, this expectation, this not good enough, this low self-esteem, this, whatever, however that shows up in your life or looks like, when we can tap into the energy of compassion and forgiveness, it actually frees us, right? It sometimes feels a little tricky to do, but it frees us not just mentally but emotionally. It gives us a sense of peace, and it helps to relinquish us from the holds that those things may have over us. And then also when we talk to other people or meet other people who have had similar experiences, or they react in a way that we used to, we tend to have, hopefully, a little bit more compassion, um, understanding of that person, that situation, where they're coming from, and then we can respond like adults. Okay. We can respond not only with just our truth and resonance, but with emotional intelligence, okay, and also with integrity, okay, because we are in alignment with that which truly serves us. And so I will leave you with this, is that the collective message will be, in the moments of these next few days, see whatever arises, how you can meet that with compassion. With, to be honest, I'm just gonna keep it 100 with y'all. I think because maybe of social media, and spirituality for some being like a trend and that kind of thing, it's kind of double sided, right? There's a lot of people who are awakening, and then there's some who are just kind no, that looks cool. That's different. Let me be a rebel against society and tap into that and be that, because that's really just me being rebellious versus me being in alignment with that path, that journey of self awareness or whatever. But to me, love and light. I don't want to say like meet everything with love and light, because it seems a little watered down in a way, because we're like, okay, what does that mean to be meet something with love and light? So what I've chosen to do recently is to meet it with grace. The word grace is ease and grace is two big words that I'm a fan of. Because if it could be easy, run it. I'm gonna take that path of least resistance, because the path of least resistance means that it is for me. It is in alignment with me. I'm not having to be in any kind of power struggle. I'm not in a space where I'm trying to force anything to happen. I'm just flowing, and flow has ease to it. Flow is graceful, right? Even if you have like this, you know, river, and you drop a stone or boulder or anything in there, the water keeps moving and flowing. It's like, oh, okay, that's there, cool. We're just gonna move around it, you know. So being in that essence, that alignment of divine feminine energy, I greatly advise for you all to practice. You know, love and light resonates, great. If compassion resonates, great. Sometimes for me personally, compassion is like, I'm turning the other cheek. Or, you know, compassion is kind of like, okay, I'm taking the high road, but I can still sometimes feel like a little bit of grudge in here in my belly area. It gets kind of restricted when I think of compassion, because I don't want to be fake. And sometimes, you know, like, oh, I'm just gonna be compassionate towards that person. It can sometimes, for me personally, have a little bit of ego attached to it. It's kind of like a spiritual ego, like, oh, I'm just gonna show you compassion, you know, because I'm better than you. And I don't like that feeling either. It doesn't resonate with my true self. But to invoke or call in grace, that feels, to me, that feels good. It feels light. It feels like love. It feels like compassion, but its own entity, its own energy vibration in itself. And so during this season, these next few days, as we close out 2022, may you find grace within yourself, and may that grace extend into your relationships, your home, your work, and all those that you come in contact with. And may you be at ease during this season. All right, that is my gift for you, and a blessing and intention for you. And we will now go into the read.